The MCU Peter Parker Spider-Man is probably worthy to hold Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and of course that would mean that Peter Parker would have the powers of Thor and would be able to use lightning and all that stuff. And the reason this is because Peter Parker embodies true selflessness and humility. Peter Parker was willing to sacrifice himself for his friends and the entire world. He was willing to let everyone forget about him. He was willing to allow for his girlfriend MJ and his best friend Ned and the entire world and everyone who loves and cares about him to forget about him just so that he could protect his universe from extraterrestrial, or I mean, excuse me, threats from the multiverse. So he made a great sacrifice, and it's really a larger scale version of the sacrifice that he made for that Thor made when Thor offered to get killed by the Destroyer just so that it would leave his friends, the Warriors 3 and Sif and Jane and Darcy and Stellan Skarsgård character alone. So I think that Peter Parker would be very worthy of holding Thor's hammer, and of course, maybe in a fourth Spider-Man film, maybe Thor appears and Peter Parker holds the hammer. Now, of course, Thor and Peter didn't really have much screen time together. I mean, of course, in Avengers Endgame, they were fighting alongside each other, and they were, of course, both at Tony Stark's funeral. And so I'm sure they talked and stuff later, but obviously, because of the spell, Thor would not necessarily remember Peter Parker either. Actually, Thor would not remember Peter Parker at all. And even if he did, which he wouldn't, he would still not know enough about him and recognize him enough. But maybe Peter Parker would hold Thor's hammer at some point in a fourth Spider-Man film or in a fifth Thor film or whatever. And he would be a new version of Thor, so that would be very interesting. But basically, the point is that Peter Parker would be worthy of Thor's hammer.